All right, good day, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am glad that you're here to share your time with us and get to know more about our speaker for today. I'm Shannon Agarrado from Saastronautics, and I'm so glad that you all took the time to join us today. With us is no other than our Saastronaut of the Month, our very own Aman Jha, the founder of not only one but two agencies, Fortune Kit Labs and MVP.Cafe, both located in Mumbai, India. So I'm pretty sure that we'll be learning a lot from who Aman is, how his journey started, and how he got to this pretty awesome point. So don't forget to grab your pen and paper because I'm sure he'll be sharing a lot of wisdom on the creation and launch of MVP. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Aman.
Hi, Shannon. Thank you for inviting me for the
Hello.
webinar.
Thank Thank you so much for lending us your time and, of course, your wisdom today. I'm super excited for what's about to come, and I'm super honored to share my first webinar with you. And thank you for talking with me beforehand. So let's get straight to the point. And I know that a lot of people are waiting for this. They're waiting for your presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and broadcast your presentation. So, you can go ahead with it. You can take the stage away from me.
Sure.
All right, let's go.
And Shannon, just before starting that, can you please
Yes.
confirm if we are already live on Facebook and all?
Yes,
So if
we
we can
are.
just check it out.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that again?
So if we can just check on the social media if we are already live.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. We are already live because there are 9 people watching, and
great.
there's a live already. Yes, that's great. So can't wait to hear more about this. I'll mute myself so you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So hi, I'm Aman, founder of MVP.Cafe. So MVP Cafe we started because we thought like many founders invest too much time of them with the building all the startup product, and the thing that happened during that time, they invest too much, and they invest too much of time, too much of money. And what happened, like after the first build out, they are having empty pockets at that time. So what we decided to build a MVP.Cafe. And in this presentation, I will walk you through the journey, like why a minimum viable product is needed and how we should be building minimum viable product. So yeah, for MVP.Cafe, and then let's start with the early stage journey of a founder and a startup. So what we decided over there, just give me a second. I'm just going out to my presentation. Yeah. Yeah. So the secret is like 3 out of 4 startup fails that we realized in our the past experience. Like mostly startup fails because the reason is ideas are easy, but the implementation of it is hard, and that's told by this guy Kawasaki. You already well aware of them. So, and apart from that, the main reason for a startup failure is first one is no market need. Second is founder is most of the time founder is out of money, and the most common thing is not the right team structure. So these are the top 3 structure that is also published in the CB Insights. So we'll talk about like how we recognize if there is no market need and how should we avoid like we are not out of cash, and also we'll set up a right team structure. So these all the basic things we will covering at MVP.Cafe. So let's know like how we can address this stuff. So there will be 4 topics we'll be discussing. So first one is we should be doing excellent mistake. So what happened like we as a founder thinks our idea is very unique, and we should be doing all the stuff at once at a single glance, and we just hire coders, hire developers, and start building our all the product at single glance. So what happened that duration, so for the next 6 or 7 months we are building the product from scratch, then we go to the market, and then we realize like, oh, there is a need of this product. So I am suggesting here like make excellent mistake but faster. So let me show you how. And Yeah, so few of the few examples like the top companies who did excellent mistake. Like initially, Instagram was started with the idea of social network that called Bourbon. Later, they transformed and converted into a photo sharing app. Similar with the Twitter, Flickr, Facebook is also having so many failed projects. Google is also having many failed projects. So the thing you have already heard probably, like you are not failed. You just found a way that the things won't work. So just let me go through the our first point. The reason for startup failure, no market need. So how do we find if there is no market need? Let me go. Yeah. So we should be doing experiments, but experiments shouldn't cost too much of our money. I or else we will be run out of money. So to overcome this, we need to boost up our development time, development speed. So what we do, like we boost up the development timeline, and if just imagine if we can launch a product, launch a MVP within say within 15 days or within a 30 days, so that we come to know like if there is any need of the product or if there isn't any need of product. So that's why we need to fail fast. So let me show you with the some data. Yeah. So if you can see the graph, so usually what we think, like this is our idea, and if we if we spend our time and build out the product in this model, like we are building out the product and developing, and once we reach out our proof of concept, then we think that it will go like in this way. But the challenge is like we spend too much of our time by reaching at this point. So that's why we propose a solution to go agile. Like in the agile model, what we do, like we reach that stage very quickly, very fast, and we find the errors. And then what we do once we go to the customer and reach out with our product, so customer will tell us their feedbacks and very valuable of their suggestions. So what we do, we again reiterate, so our time to validate the idea like is very quick, and we are having option to validate it like in many iteration, so that in that duration our product comes out to be a more robust, more accurate, and we are also having a stream of revenue during that process because we are already interacting with so many customers during that time. As you can see, I tried to present in this slide. So apart from that, there is also some gap between how do we build out an MVP. So some people say like just develop something basic feature set and then reiterate and then develop it again and again to a certain point where it will get validated. So this is means I believe this is not the right structure to build an MVP. So for me, MVP should also be a MMP. MMP is minimum marketable product. So at least someone can use this product. So the right way to build an MVP is to build out something that should be useful for a certain audience. So for example, if we want to build something where we can travel, so for that, we can build our MVP like something like skateboard. So at on the skateboard as well, what we can do like someone can walk from distance A to distance B. So point A to point B. That is the right approach to building an MVP. So at MVP.Cafe, we are having a team of expertise who do the exact same thing. Like they talk with the audience and they figure it out like what should be the roadmap for our actual audience who will be using the product from the first iteration. We are having the actual audience ready and who are ready for to give the beta feedback for our product. Apart from that, once you created a well proper roadmap and also planned out the iteration. So apart from that, what is important, like you should be focusing on the data part. Like most of the founders do the this mistake, like in the early release they don't include analytics and the different engagement channel to reach out to their customer and to understand their customer. So we are having multiple tools like Google Analytics. This is a screenshot of GA. Probably you have already aware of this. So we need to understand the metrics, like how a user are using the platform and how user for example, if we are launching a mobile app or a SaaS product, so we need to understand and we need to focus for our user how much time they are spending on the onboarding process, and if our onboarding process is too much difficult for them, so what happened during that, if we are having right metrics, so we can improve our onboarding process so that we are having a much more better customer during that time, and for our next iteration we are having much more robust product. So data should be crucial and we should be focused on the different data metrics tool to understand our customer and consumer behaviors. Also, most of the marketing agency and other are well familiar with the A/B testing concept. So even in our product as well, we should be redefining our modules so that it will be feasible for our end users to use the product in a better way, and so that our main ideas and product will get tested. And most of the time what happened, we think that this is going to work and we are having another solution ready as well, but that's we think that it won't work. So it's always better to go with some certain user group and validate that part. So with that MVP, the basic MVP that we will be planning and will be building. So what happened, like within 15 or 20 days, we are having something to show to our end audience, and audience are also can use that product and can use, and it's not just a prototype, they can use the product and they can test it out, so we get valuable feedback from them. And apart from that, the main thing for an MVP is distribution, like for any product. So mostly we believe like we have built out something great and the audience will come automatically. That's our belief, like they will come automatically. But we need to distribute them. Like I said, we think like if we build, they will automatically come. So that's not happening. So we need to focus on the metrics, like how we should be approaching our distribution channel, our pricing strategy, and what is our goal for the revenue. So even during the MVP we need to focus on these stuffs as well. So this is just for an overview, like how our pricing should be structured for the different products. So this is also a crucial part that we should be focusing with the during the first month of our MVP development. Apart from that, yeah, there are having that's the slide. Mostly the current our audience are already familiar with all this stuff because they are mostly from the marketing and these companies. So common distribution channel that we should be, and also one more thing I would like to add here, Shannon, like what happened when we are building our product. So like a tech product. So what a major mistake what we do, like we focus on just building our code and all stuff with the tech teams, enabling the tech teams and discussing brainstorming with them, discussing roadmap, and we miss the part like Google will also take a bit of time to show our ranking on Google page. And so if we are launching our product say after 6 months, so what happened, like after that period, if someone is search our brand name, so most of the time it happens like our audience can't find us on the first page of the Google because of it will take a certain time to list our page on Google and all. So what we suggest over here to founders, You can do a basic SEO kind of thing at the very beginning. Like you can have just a single landing page, and you can provide all the key metrics and these points, and then you can leave that page and meanwhile focus on the team and focus on the product. So after 1 month you are having a certain product ready, then you can go to some influencers, or you can connect on the different Facebook groups or Google groups, and you can ask user for the feedback. And once you are having a certain you can say a basic set of users, they are already providing a valuable feedback, then you can plan for your iteration too. And during that time it also helps us to raise funds, because that time we can also connect with a lot of investors who are ready to fund for the seed stages. So the founder should focus on communicating with multiple investors, their clients. So the overall the concept is like we should be saving our time on the important stuff, not on the stuff that takes a lot of time. And even after that time, the product, like most of the time, like if I can share you think of our one of our earlier client. So they were building product in React Native called technology. So they are building all the product from scratch. So what we did, so they focused on 6 months. So most of the founders can relate this stuff. So they spend around 4 to 6 months on building the product. Then what happened? They were planning for an early release, and also investors were lined up to take the further action. So what happened? Then the bugs came out, and then they need an urgent team over there. They deployed team again. So they were fixing the bugs. Then once they will fixing the bugs, so a new bugs will be coming around. So their product development took them around 10 to 12 months just to build a basic setup structure. And meanwhile, a company like a big company, they already launched a basic feature. So what happened there? All the development for 10 to 12 months, that's cost around, you can say, $30,000 for
Oh,
that
wow.
building MVP. So what happened? Like for a big company, it's just a feature. Your MVP can be just a feature for a very big company. So you should be very fast enough to test it out and go to the market, so that you can build many features according to the customer need. That's why we you need to set up all the basic stuff, like I told you. We need to speed up everything. We need to have a proper distribution channel. We need to have a proper analytics in our MVP. So these are the common stuff that we require to building out a MVP. And apart from that, that's not included in the slide. Like there are so many no code tools available in the market. Like our Saastronaut community is already familiar with that. Like most of the SaaS products are launching, and we are all addicted with the different kind of deals. So what we can do, even like to build out a basic MVP, we can connect the things we are having to test out a market need, if there is a need of that or not. And if required, then we can use some tools like Pably, Zapier to integrate the different platform. Apart from that, we can also build our own API channel just to integrate the things out. And the things I suggest to most of founders, like there are many things already available as a concept of script. So what we can do, you shouldn't be just copying all the script code. So you can just take few modules and build out your concept, because for an MVP or for a product, your concept should be unique, or at least you should be having a wider reach, and you are familiar, you know that you can innovate that already existing item, existing ideas. So for that, what you can do, you can take out the ready-made scripts available. You can take out the different no-code tools available, and if required, then just do a basic of coding over there to build out your first MVP. And 80% or 90% product can be achieved with this way. And after that, once you are all having the validated concept, you are having your investors ready, you are having your bit of customers ready, then you can do your second iteration with the actual code and actual stuff. there within 3 or 4 months you should be deploying a initial launch of your product. With that you are having your customer will feel the actual product, and then they will be providing more and more feedback. Then you can take the third step of adding more features over there. So that's the kind of thing you should be doing with your MVP. Yeah, Shan.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm actually listening. It's very interesting. So I'm just keeping up with you.
Okay, just give me a second now.
No worries. Go ahead. So don't forget to hydrate, guys. To everyone watching, and Aman especially, don't forget to drink your water.
Yep. So I will also would like to share few of the our experience with the clients and with my friends who raise a good number of amounts here in India with the investors, and the day-to-day things we discuss with them. Like the first mistake that they do, they think that their ideas are their baby, so they want everything for their baby, and they want everything at a single go. So they list out all the features in their head, and that's the main problem that I believe that's with the most of the founder. And we suggest them ideas are not their baby. So ideas are something like you should be experimenting at a certain stage where your audience or your buyers will approve that, oh, I am looking for this sort of idea and this kind of product. At that point of time, once your validation will happen, then you can move ahead. So the first thing is ideas are not baby. Ideas are nothing. You need to execute that. Apart from that, the second thing, when I interact with incubators and accelerator programs. So in India, I'm helping many accelerator and incubators over here, and on to day-to-day basis, I interact with say 3 to 4 founders on a daily basis. My calendar is booked with different founders. So many are early stage, very early stage as well. So where they need guidance on how to focusing on things ahead, and few of them are like they are serious about, like they are already having at a certain stage, and they want to do things pretty quick way, pretty nice way. So there, first of all, we focus on the validating the concept, like how should we be validating that. Apart from that, in the validation terms, we interact with them, we discuss with them uh, on the roadmap, like what should be a roadmap and iteration plan for their product. Then on the second part, we discuss with them, we are also having a different set of groups over here, like different set of audience over here. So according to them, we find a relevant audience, and we suggest them. We are having a set of audience already, and we suggest them to find a that sort of audience for our iteration, and then founders will just focus on that stuff. Apart from that, once we are having our audience ready, then what we do, we design our product, the basic look and feel of the idea. Like we are already having iteration ready, we are having design, we are having audience ready. Then the third thing is we plan out for the look and feel of the product. So all the UI and UX element, we do that part in the third stage. And once that is ready, then we again test it out with our initial set of say 30-40 set of audience over there. And once we are having a good feedback over our UI UX, then we start building out our product. So overall, it takes us around say between 14 days to 30 days, depending upon the concept. If we do this kind of prototype and interacting with all the tools, yeah. So after 1 month, say we are have so after 1 month we are having something. in our hand, and we are also having our clients initial certain clients ready. Then what we do, we plan out for the team. Like I told you, we are having two agencies. One is specifically for MVP, like they are helping out for the MVP and all stuff. And once MVP is validated, then we suggest them to either hire in-house team. Like always, in-house team is better if we are looking for a long term and our MVP is already validated, or else hire an outsource team. You can hire any outsource team from anywhere, from Asian countries. People do believe uh, few coders or developers, they are not having a good interaction with them, but yeah, there are having many good developers as well inside Asia. So you can hire any Asian companies for that. Once your MVP is validated, then you can start building out your all concept from scratch. And meanwhile, the founder should focus on just interaction with interaction, relationship, and these stuff. Yeah. So, do you have any questions, Shannon?
Oh, actually, right now I've got one question from Parker actually about the content distribution.
Hmm.
The question is, should we focus on specific social media depending on our agency's target audience?
Yeah, you can start with, say, Facebook and Instagram. You can start with there, because we found out most of the customers that and they interact with initial product, so the leads come from Instagram. So that's my experience. Even more than Facebook, so you can focus on Instagram platform, because even before the LinkedIn. So usually we believe like LinkedIn is a good platform to interact with and get more audience, but we found out like ads works on better on Instagram for the initial feedback, because these days most of us are continuously scrolling on Instagram.
That's
So you
true.
can,
And we
yeah,
come across a lot of ads on Instagram. It's a really
yeah.
great way to, find the people.
Sure. So you can focus on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter is always the best platform to have. So
Yes.
so founder should personally be active on Twitter and interacting with lots of other similar interest kind of people. And
Yeah.
as your company or as a page, you should be running ads on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes. What's your advice for people? Because I know that a lot of people come across a lot of ads and they might think that the ads are too repetitive or too annoying, if that makes sense. So what are your advice to capture your clients?
Yeah. Okay. So for MVP, if you are testing out a concept,
Yes.
so if you are testing out a concept, and it depends upon how you are asking help for that or offering something to them. Because as a early stage user, or as a beta user, or maybe say an alpha user, we need something in return. So
Mm.
that kind of ads won't work if we just use it as sales kind of thing. Like we will be using all the jargon words inside that. So if we can generously ask for early stage feedback, or ask them or invite them to use our product, then usually that
Mm.
works, and people sign up for that.
Mm.
So you can run ads to ask them for early stage feedbacks,
Yeah.
and you can show out the product that what it can do. You can have a basic set of, you can create a basic video as well on how your products work, how your concept works, and how it can help them, the audience you are targeting. So you should be focusing on how it can help them, and then ask for help. So people usually sign up for that, and you are
Mm.
having your beta customer ready for that. Yes.
Okay, so that's great. Actually, I have another question because I noticed in the beginning of your presentation you talked about failing fast, right? And I know that a lot of people, like business owners, agency founders, you want to succeed as much as possible. So I actually got intrigued that you said fail fast. So my question really is, in the industry that you are coming from, there will be a
Hmm.
lot of trials and errors. So what is the mindset that, people who want to go in this industry, what is the mindset that they should have to go in this industry and, succeed eventually?
Okay. So we need to change our mindset that failures are okay, because I can talk about any of founders, and there are very rare founders who succeed in the first go.
Mm.
So we need to understand that failures are okay, and we should be prepared for that. Like when we release our first product and first
Yeah.
thing, so we should be okay for a positive criticism, positive feedback around our product. So that's I will suggest to founders, like build out something and reach out to market, and then take that feedback seriously, like how like what your target audience are saying and what's the opinion of your users, and then work out on them, then again reiterate and release your product.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for that. I think it's a great advice for people because it's really a competitive world, and having that mindset and just going sticking with it is really important, and it's really crucial in order to survive in this industry. Actually, I have a question that's coming up on the screen right now. Here, it's from Parker. I'm curious to see if MVP.Cafe office is it with cafe concept.
Yeah. So I would for Parker, I will show my office. So yeah. So for the
Okay,
cafe
we have a
concept,
tour today, guys.
so first let me show my office. So there is just one guy sitting in the office right now. This is my
Oh,
co-founder.
he is our audience. Hello there.
So the complete we're upstairs as well. We usually do meetings over there. So yeah. So build out this office as a cafe because the fact in India, most of the early stage founders, they were either working as some corporate or they are already engaged with some day-to-day business. So what happened at that time? Like they want to meet us at a cafe. So in India, few cafes like Starbucks and Cafe Coffee Day. These are famous, some of famous cafes there. So we used
Yeah,
to do meetings over there over a cup of a coffee.
that's great.
So
That's actually a great example of, hearing out your clients and what they want. And,
like
starting off with just the meeting place, that's great.
so that's why we build our office like a cafe. So we always feel like that, like we are sitting in a cafe, and even our clients comes to our office. So the same feel they get over here.
Yeah. That's great. It really is. Let me just recap actually, because maybe some people just joined in with this webinar. And, I think some people still are trying to grasp the idea of an MVP and what it means and why it's so crucial, especially once, when building a startup.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
what
uh,
exactly? Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, go
can
ahead.
you just repeat? Can you just repeat? I just missed out.
All right. So, what does MVP mean and why is it important, especially when building a startup?
Okay. So MVP is minimum viable product that's required to test out your ideas and get early stage feedback from the client or your audience or your users. So like MVP, there are multiple variants for that as well. Like MVP becomes MMP, minimum marketable product, so that you can easily market that product. So yeah, so MVP is required for a startup or a concept because it helps you get feedback very early, because you build out, like for example, we all use Google Meet at some point. So you have seen that like at the early release, they were just having a basic functionalities of the around the core concept of video calling. They build out the platform for on the basic concept, and later now they are adding many more features, like the different kind of, like you can also open different pages around that, and you can see the stats and all. So they are adding many features in the after releasing of their product in say last year when they release. Google Meet. Officially, like during the lockdown and all, it became viral. So it's important to build out the just core thing, and I will also give example like you are building out some. I will give example of Google Meet kind of app only. So if you are building out something like you are planning to build out some tool like Air Meet or Google Meet or these kind of platform, and you are having a concept like people where they can hang out and they can discuss about a different topic. You can have a different interest group over there. So if this is an idea and you need to build out your product, so the first thing you want to check out if you can have that connectivity platform coded where people will interact and do video calls and all. So it will take you minimum of 3 to 4 months to just code that from scratch. Apart from that, you will be building all the remaining stuff. So it will also take around 4 to 5 months to build out the complete product. So total you will spend around 7 to 8 months to build out that idea, or around that idea where you can that people can see like-minded people and do hang out over there. Like I will just
Right.
again brief out the concept. Like the concept is if we want to build out an app where we will find different groups. We can easily join any groups, and then in that particular group, people of the similar interest will have the video call and the live session over there continuously. We can just join, and during that call, the basic thing is like if someone is talking, then other should be just listening, and if someone else has started talking, so there will be automatically everything will be on mute. So just imagine if this kind of concept you want to build it out. So for that, we what you can do, you can just for an MVP, like you asked why MVP is important. So the first thing is it will save your time, and I will show you how. You can what you can do, like you can take out the basic structure. You can integrate Twilio API for video calling, or you can have some sort of Jitsi, like this is already famous currently. So there are already ready structures. So you can leverage their APIs for the calling part. You can build out just 3 to 4 screen that can be doable within a say within a week or within 10 days. That's doable. And also there are many scripts available for a chat-based platform in different technology. So you can directly buy that script in say $99 or $100. That's the cheapest price on that script is available, and you can hire a developer around that to tweak out that. You can connect with Twilio for their API. So within say 15 or 20 days, you will be having a basic MVP ready, and you can ask your users for the feedback if they are liking this idea or not. So in this way, you are saving your cost, and you are saving your time as well. So
That's
whether
good.
you should be
Yeah, it's
focusing on
more of
that.
like so
Yeah,
it's more like prevention of lost opportunities. You're just maximizing the time that you
true.
have with a client. That's good. That's really great. A lot of businesses just go for fast forward and they think, oh, we're gonna succeed right away, but they don't look at the data and they don't study it enough, to really like become, to become sustainable or feasible in the future, which you mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
actually have another question that's coming up on Facebook. I can't see the name. Hopefully it shows up. There we go. Okay. So a lot of small business owners, especially in special niches, products are too often scared or afraid to take bigger risks. How does Saastronautics allay the fears of new businesses when starting out when it comes to using e-commerce tools or SaaS tools?
Okay. Just let me read the question again.
Sure, sure.
How does Saastronautics ally the fears of new? Okay, so is it related when we are building a SaaS or e-commerce tool?
Yes.
Then okay. So can you just explain the question again for me, Shannon? Like
I think how do you what's it called? How do you I think the question revolves around how do you get past the fear of building new SaaS tools or new e-commerce tools? Like, how do you deal with a client that wants to build that and they don't want to, they want to be strong with their product? How do you help the client in that regard?
Okay. So the first thing, like if we want to build a e-commerce tool or a SaaS, so at MVP.Cafe, what we will be doing, like we first check if we are having some sort of ready code blocks available. For a founder, so let me talk in the perspective of a founder. So for that, they will be looking for if there is some readily tools available in the market, maybe a different SaaS already available, or maybe some scripts available over there. So what they can do, they can ask for a collaboration over there
Mm,
if it is possible, if they can get the scripts at very cheaper price. So they shouldn't be fear of using someone else script in the beginning.
mm,
Of course, it should be licensed. So after that, once we are having some initial framework ready, initial structure ready, then you can try out like what all basic features are required for your product and what makes you unique. Like you should be focusing on that first, to be honest.
mm,
And then if you are having right recipes ready, like what makes you unique and what is the core concept of your product, then you should be going towards ready-made scripts, or you should be finding
mm,
different SaaS tools. And
mm,
third parties, you should look if there is some sort of integration available or not, or how much
mm,
modification do you need inside that product. So if that happens, like say it comes around, say it's 15 days of work or 20 days, or maybe more than that you realize at that point of time, then what you can do, you can try and build out that part.
mm,
And meanwhile, you should be in the parallel, you should be designing you look
mm,
and feel around your core concept and started talking with your audience. In that way, within a month, you will be feeling confident enough whether you should be approaching that tool or not, or in a different way. So your audience will tell you that.
mm. All right. So regarding that question, as agency owners, actually you own two agencies. What are the SaaS tools that you use the most, or the ones that you really depend on?
Okay. So these days, I'm using. Okay, so for those for agencies, you're asking which kind of tools I'm using. So currently, for our clients, right now I'm using the recent LTDs called Swipe Pages. I'm heavily
Mm,
using Swipe Pages right now. Apart from that, I'm like just let me think which tools are currently. Give me a second.
go ahead.
Yeah. So from the development perspective, I am currently using Jira for all the
Mm,
development structuring and all, and for the project management related work. Then we are using Slack for internal communication.
mm,
Apart from that, for few of our clients, we are also using Plutio for say that projects take around say within can be completed within 1 month or within 3 months. So for them, we are using Plutio right now.
mm,
Apart from that, for the customer re-engagement channel, we are using MoEngage. So MoEngage basically help us retarget the audience
mm,
and engage with them. And they've also the different analytics how they are using. Apart from that, we are also using Google Analytics. So these are the basic tools that we are currently using. And if you are specifically talking about the LTDs that I am currently using, so it's Swipe Pages, Plutio, Nicheness for content writing. I'm loving that. So these are some of the tools, and also a phrase.
mm,
I also mostly around content building. I'm using these
mm.
tools.
Great. Thank you for that. I hope that, if people are looking to find SaaS tools to work with, just listen to Aman. He's the man here. You have to listen to him. So I'm actually I'm intrigued that you've gone through so much and you've established yourself in the industry. And when Aman and I were talking earlier, he was actually getting off the phone off with clients, and I was just amazed that he had the time to talk, and spend time and talk with us and share his wisdom with us. And a lot of people here, are still aspiring to be, in the stage that you are already in. So my question now is really, how are what were the challenges that you went through to get where you are now? I think that's a great thing for people to hear, because it gets inspiration, for people just to keep pushing through.
Yeah. So at the very beginning, we were developing IoT platform in India. So during that time, the major challenge was like we were good at technology. We were having a team of 30 members in early 2015. So we are building the IoT platform, but the challenge was at that time was getting generating sales or revenue, because we were doing the same mistake of building out everything and not going into the market.
Mhm.
Then once we pivoted our idea for the IoT, and basically we paused that idea at that time. And then what we did, we get connected with founders and started building out the platform for them. So it wasn't specifically dedicated for the founders. It was like a generic software agency where we used to
Mhm.
develop a different platform. But during
Mhm.
that time, what we realized, most of the founders are struggling with their initial product launch. So
Mhm.
they spent here in say they spent say they $20,000, $30,000 for a basic product, and they realize that there is a need of the product. So we realized during our journey. So many companies in India offered us a CTO role, and they started offering initial equity that time. So based out on that experience, we get associated with one company and they eventually raised around $1 million as well in 2017. So we
Mhm.
helped in raising funds at that point of time. So based on our that experience, we were also always thinking like there should be some ecosystem and there should be some process around that for building out the first product.
Yeah.
So it took us around, say, next 2 years while we were focusing on building out the tech, building out the ready-made code blocks to scale up our product. So
Yeah.
we were planning for MVP.Cafe since 2018, and in 2020, uh, we launched our product like our second agency MVP Cafe, and then we scaled up. Once we launched, so on the regular basis, we are getting around 6 to 7 meetings with the founders around MVP.Cafe. So it's our 3 to 4 years of collective experience with the founders. Then we built out that.
See, look at that. It takes a lot. It really takes, a whole lot of time, a whole lot of dedication just to get where you are now. How were you able to, establish your agencies, and just, how did you let people know that you're trustworthy enough, to be trusted as clients and founders? How are you able to, build trust with your clients?
Yeah. So, to building out a trust, you should be honest enough to share everything with them.
Mhm.
What happened most of the time, uh, specifically in the software industry and different agency, they tell you you are giving 3 years old experience guy for a development, and what do you do? Like you provide a junior resource to them, and you charge on monthly basis. Or a
Mhm.
product, you ask them like you will get it completed in say 3 months, and it will take around 6 to 8 months. Still, projects most of the projects are unfinished. So
Yeah.
what you need to provide them with in the initial talk, like you should be honest enough, like from where
Yeah.
you are sourcing the code at say initial codes, and how you are
Mhm.
modifying that, how much time it will take. And you should what we do over here, we are honest enough to tell our clients for each and every fact that we are having, and we
Yeah.
charge for our consultancy. And this way we save a lot of cost to our clients. That's why we build trust, and most of our we are able to almost close 70% of our deals either as
Wow.
a consultant or as a as like getting out a new client. So we are closing in that speed right now.
Wow, yeah, great. It's all about transparency, really, and just making sure that communication is always open. It's not a one-way street. I actually have another question that I got. So look at that. So many questions. I hope that you're not getting bored with all
No, no,
with
no.
your time. All right. So I have one question, and it's going to be anonymous. How do you handle? Okay, I think because you receive a lot of clients, I think daily
Mhm.
basis. Well, and I'm pretty sure not all of the clients are, always on board. They always have things. They have other motives behind what they want. So, how exactly do you handle toxic clients or clients that aren't so, not in the same vision as you do? And do you have any experiences with clients that are like that?
True, true. So we, as an agency, we are always having such clients.
Yeah.
They want everything in their way. So that's why we are having two agencies. So at MVP.Cafe, we take only those clients who are serious enough to listen our points, like because we are having experience and expertise around, and also we are having set of mentors according to around the different niche. So we are having mentors to that. So at MVP.Cafe, at the initial contract as well, we ask them like if we are moving ahead, so you need to listen to us, like
Mm,
how we can build out the product according to your core concept. Like we discuss with them what is the core need and all. And at Fortune Kit, what we do, like if they are rigid enough, they want everything built in their way only. So
mm,
that's why Fortune Kit comes into the picture, where we build out everything according to the client, where all the risk of that product, like when the product will goes into the market, and if ideas are
mm,
not getting validated, or uh, uh, or like they will fail because of the concept. So we are not
mm,
responsible for that. We are responsible for the product only. So for
yeah.
dealing with them, like we just friendly ask them if they want to continue with us. So they at MVP.Cafe, so they need to agree all the terms and condition at the initial basis. Otherwise, they can
Mm,
continue with Fortune Kit. Or if
yeah.
they are not agree, then they are free to go, because there is a very big market.
That's
So
true.
that we clear out initially. And again, I told you, like we believe in transparency.
That's true.
Sorry, just a minute.
Yes. Don't worry. Drink your water.
Yeah. So I told you we believe in transparency. So at the very beginning, we tell our client with our all the process and communication channel. So there are
Mm,
very less chances that clients are unhappy with us.
mm,
So that's how currently we are dealing. And at the in the initial stages, like we faced many challenges, like with the dispute of one founder between two founders. One
yeah.
goes to build out something, and the other founder approaches and to build out something for them, and we are not giving because of their dispute, because we also need to maintain the NDAs and all the contract that we are signed, because we respect the privacy and we respect the ideas of the founders. So we always believe, our team, complete team believes that. So yeah, that's how currently we are dealing with that, with
All
the
right. Thank you so much for that. And I think it takes a lot for we can't always say yes to clients because at the end of the day you have your skills, your expertise to share and you can't always, just keep saying yes. So you have to be firm about your actions, which I am super glad that you shared with us. I have another question, I believe, over here. Okay. Have you ever niched down in a specific market or went broad or generic?
just give me a second. Sorry, Sharon, just
Go
give
ahead.
me a second.
Don't worry.
Yeah, sorry. So you are talking something. Actually, I got something very urgent, so I need to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's okay.
no
We
worries.
can continue. You are talking something.
All right. Actually, my question was, have you ever niched down in a specific market or went broad or generic?
We were in the specific market for into logistics, IoT, fintech, e-commerce. So we were known for that kind of solutions earlier, and into the government as well. Like we used to
Oh
build
wow.
out an IoT solution for governments in India. So, like I will give you a basic example. We build out a basic solution where all the citizens inside a state can have an app, and for any emergency, uh, they can directly reach out to the government, and all the emergency vehicles like police or ambulance can reach out to them with all the live cameras, and also we build out that solutions earlier. So we were into the for that specialization and niche. But now we are generic. Like what we did, we are having a set of mentors in every field. Like if you are coming out for a SaaS that focus on Martech, so we are having Martech expert. So they will look around your requirement, your need, and they will focus on your roadmap and all. Once that is planned, then our team will take it that and move it ahead.
Wow. Actually, I was really intrigued with the first one as well, and both of them, because I wish that was available here in the Philippines. I wish it was more like that here. I actually, considering that you're actually tight on time as well, I wanted to ask if if you have, since it's our last question, because we don't want to keep you waiting and you're a really busy man. Is there any words or advice you want to give to people who want to dive into this industry, or any quotes to
Yeah.
give them?
So my basic advice would be if you want to just start, or if you want and you are having some ideas in your mind that you want that it should be shared with the public, then you need to just start right away. Like you just take your pen, write down on your paper, and just plan out and just write a launch date, like when you'll be sharing that with the public, and you should be working on that immediately, and you can do that.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that. And I hope, people really take that to heart and, just keep going with it. So, another thing is, if you have any upcoming events, any upcoming things to, broadcast to people, this is your time. This is your stage to do it.
Yeah. Currently on the 8th March, there is Women's Day. And for that, we are launching a special campaign for women entrepreneurs where we will be consulting them for the initial product launch and all for completely free. So if you want to enroll, so I will share that link with you, Shannon, and you can share with all the community members. And for the
All
women
right,
specifically,
perfect.
this is
Yeah.
the current launch. And meanwhile, for the other group members, so I will be available. You can just reach out to me. My personal username is Aman Jha now, and I am available with that name everywhere. And you can just directly go to the MVP.Cafe and book a meeting from there.
All right, thank you so much, Aman. I really appreciate the time, the wisdom, and all the learnings that you've shared with us today. I hope you also enjoyed your time today, spending with us in Saastronautics. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. And thank you so much to everyone that joined us in today's webinar. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you, Shannon. You
Thank
were such a
you. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.